Hey, Genki Call here with Bounty for the weekend of December 17th, 2021. I have one team for you today because it's going to help you get all the way through Bounty. Little bit of different on the earlier levels because the early levels, the enemies are really don't have a lot of stats. But to get this 30x multiplier, you have to have all of your bounty troops. Well, first of all, they all have to be bounty troops. They have to have this trait, and they all have to be at mythic level. And you have to have the bounty captain at mythic level as well, uh, or level 20. So the only way to get the bounty captain is to come into the shop and purchase up to at least tier 5. Well, unless you want to use a bunch of Orbs of Ascension. I bought up to tier 5 and then used one Orb of Ascension to get it up to Mythic because I had an Orb of Ascension to spare. If you don't have any to spare, if you're going to get it to level 20, you have to do it one more level. I'm getting really low on gems because I blew through a bunch of them upgrading my Soul Forge. So that's where we stand. I bought the 5 tiers, I used an Orb of Ascension, and I even meddled the thing. So the reason why that I meddled it is because from now on and forever, I will be using this troop on the early levels of bounty because this scatter damage is going to take out those very, very low level troops so that I can get the early levels of bounty taken care of in one fell swoop and I don't have to worry about it. I started having trouble about here where it was no longer really taking care of those enemies and I had to wait and use it as a finisher, which is about where it is now. But I originally had it more like this. And I was just casting with Nature Weird, being done with it. But after a while, Nature Weird really isn't doing much for you anymore. This is perfect. So as far as tactics go, after you no longer are one-shotting with the Nature Weird, it pretty much becomes useless, except as a finisher. It's sounding like I'm saying accept, but I'm actually saying accept with an E. I know it sounds weird and you don't even care, so I'll go on. But Tigraki Warrior is our MVP for this event. Absolutely. And I'll show you why in a second. First, let's go over the troops. We have Ogress as our mana generator. She's going to be in the front no matter where you put her. As soon as you cast, she's going to end up front. She's going to explode a bunch of gems, get you a bunch of mana. And she has skull damage reduction by 50%. And she summons when she dies. She is fantastic for this purpose. And so I really love the Ogress for bounty. Then we've got the Corpse Mare, who is a secondary tank. No skull damage reduction, but every time you cast with him, he is stealing life. And so it's not just taking away from the enemy, it's taking away and adding to his own life. So if Ogress goes down, if the Fortress Gate goes down, you have another tank to help protect your team. And that is always cool. Now, the reason why Tigraki Warrior is so perfect for this event is because he does true damage to an enemy boosted by their armor. And the thing is that for many of these levels, we've got the Clockwork Sphinx over here. My recommendation to you is to allow her to cast. Let her increase their armor because every time she increases their armor, Tigraki Warrior is hitting harder and one-shotting them. So the higher their armor is, the more likely it is that he's going to one-shot the enemies. And it's awesome. Love it. Was really hoping that Clockwork Sphinx was going to be on the final level, and it's not, which is disappointing because it makes it less fast. But any level that you are fighting the Clockwork Sphinx on, be sure that you take the Tigraki Warrior with you. Same with the Clockwork Knight. He also increases armor on himself, so that will help you one shot. But basically, tactics are blow things up with Ogress, use the Corpse Mare if you need to make sure you've got some points coming off there, but here is the lineup for level 20, and it's going to be this time every time you play level 20. All of these levels are going to be the same for everybody, so everybody's level 11 is going to have these troops, and everybody's level 20 is going to have these troops. We've got the Smashobot, Japan in the rear, but it can self-destruct. And then we've got this, which also can self-destruct. And these are annoying troops to fight from Tinkertown. Blast Cannon, I recommend getting rid of this as quickly as you can, simply because it silences. And if your Ogress gets silenced, you're not going to be able to get mana quickly for your team. So it's a pain. And then Rover 300 is going to create a bunch of yellow gems, which is great because Corpse Mare and Nature Weird use them. However, I'm not using Nature Weird except to finish. So I'll show you how this goes. We'll do a few battles here. And there are other options. Of course, there are plenty of other options as far as teams that you can use for bounty. I'm really loving the efficiency of the fact that we've got the Tigraki warrior that can take out those things with a high armor. So basically what I'll do here is you want to cast the Corpse Mare on whichever row here has the most skulls, and a bunch of them have two. So we're just going to go ahead and do this one down here. This only affects the first enemy. As soon as you have the mana with Tigraki Warrior, cast it on whichever one of these troops has the highest armor, and that's going to be Rover 300, even though Rover 300 is not... Rover 300 is going to help me get mana for these two troops. So normally that would be the case, but I did say to go for the Blast Cannon first. So go for the Blast Cannon simply because you really want to get rid of that darn thing. I'm going to blow things up simply because there are too many skulls on the board and I didn't want them using those against me. And we're going to do this. And we'll blow things up again, get some mana for Tigraki Warrior, take this guy out before he can do something to me. And we'll do this again. That should take care of them. Look at how the health is going up here. And just basically rinse and repeat. We have... Yeah, before I can use Tigraki Warrior, I'm just going to end up taking these guys out. But I'll show you a few so that you can get a taste of how this is working. But there we go. Now, bounty events tend to be pretty boring because it's doing the same thing over and over and over again. If you want to get the most rewards out of bounty, that's the way it has to work. You're just going to end up doing the same thing over and over again. So I'll do anything I have to get through it as quickly as possible. So I'm going to do this. So I am using 3 Metals of Nisha. I have 3 of them now. Woohoo! So I am using 3 Metals of Nisha. I do have all of them gold medaled because I'll be using all of these in future bounty events. So I was okay, and they're not hard to gold medal at this level because of their base rarity. But there we go. Yeah, look, he's gonna silence my Ogress. Of course he silenced my Ogress. Yeah, I'll do anything I can to make things go more quickly. Why am I taking green? She was silenced, and I wasn't paying attention. I actually needed red. So let's get rid of this guy before he can do anything else. Yeah, I missed those, but luckily I've got 50% skull damage reduction on Ogress, so that is helping me out. I'm going to go ahead and cast with this. And next up, I am going to be casting the Tigraki Warrior on this bottom one. And we'll do this again. 2 of them, please. There we go. And, you know, it's going very smoothly for me. I do have those bonus points that I'm able to do because of the Metals of Nisha, because of the gold medaling. And I know that it's not going to be as easy for people that are lower level. But if you can't do level 20, my recommendation to you is to stop at whatever level you have to in order to win your battle. So if you do battle 11 and you're doing okay with it, but you start losing at level 12, stay at level 11 and just do 11 over and over again, just to be sure that you're going to win, you're going to get your points. It's going to help you more in the long run than losing repeatedly on level 12 plus, right? That's my thought process. And as far as level 20 goes, level 19 is actually much better for this team because Clockwork Sphinx is here. And Clockwork Sphinx, increasing allies' armors every time she casts, you're going to hit harder. So you might want to actually just keep doing level 19 over and over again. But I want to get this over with as quickly as possible. So I'm going to stick with level 20. I'm not having any difficulties. I haven't even had to cast Nature Weird for a dozen levels probably. So we'll just keep doing this. I'll show you one more level here and then I will leave you to your own devices. I might even go live. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely want to take out the darn blast cannon first. Now be aware that these two things from, what's it called? Tinkertown can loop. And they loop terribly. And I hate it when they do that, but it is a possibility, so keep that in mind. If you have any problems with them, then you may have to take out one of them before you take care of this guy. I am going to go ahead and get rid of this because I really don't like being silenced. We'll work on this again. Pachow! We got him. Only one left, and this one can only hurt us by getting a hold of skulls. So, can't quite take him out, and reducing his armor like I just did means I can't hit him as hard with Tigraki Warrior. But I'm okay with that because I just hit him with this and he's gone. Alright, that's what you've got from me. Now, there is an alternative on the higher levels that you can use. You can build a team instead. You've got Nature Weird and Ogress. I definitely recommend those. But also, instead of doing true damage, you can do there we go, half main. So if the enemy's attack is greater, it does double damage. So that is another alternative. This is something I usually do on the high levels of bounty when their attack is higher than mine. That's what I'm usually doing. But I'm finding that my true damage team is working great. So I'm just going to stick with this. And I hope that this was helpful. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon, folks. Bye-bye.